The morning sun rose over Jetavana, its golden rays filtering through the thick canopy of trees. Beneath the grove, disciples gathered, their robes rustling in anticipation of the Buddha's teachings. Among them, a weary scholar named Aniruddha, his brows furrowed, approached the Buddha with questions about his academic struggles. Aniruddha bowed deeply, his voice trembling. "Master, my pursuits leave me restless. Ambition gnaws at my peace, and self-doubt clouds my mind." The Buddha gazed at him kindly, his face serene, reflecting infinite wisdom. His words flowed like a gentle stream, soothing the spirit. "Aniruddha, the life of a scholar mirrors a stormy ocean, where waves of desire and currents of struggle clash endlessly." The Buddha paused, allowing silence to echo his truth. "To attain peace, you must walk the middle path, neither veering towards excess nor deficiency," he continued, his voice steady like the rhythm of a heart. "Effort alone cannot yield truth. It must be balanced by tranquility, like a lute tuned neither too tightly nor too loosely." Aniruddha nodded slowly, the simplicity of the metaphor sinking into his consciousness, dispelling some of his anguish. The Buddha gestured towards a lotus blooming in the nearby pond. "Be like the lotus, Aniruddha. Rooted in mud, it reaches upward, untarnished by its environment." His gaze softened, transmitting compassion through silence. "Divide your hours as a farmer tills the soil, moments of work and moments of rest. Each task is a gift, not possession," the Buddha continued, his tone measured, resonating with calm assurance. "Offer your efforts with gratitude, without clinging to their results. Attachment poisons the soul, trapping you in cycles of dissatisfaction." Aniruddha tilted his head, absorbing every word as if carving them onto his heart. His mind reflected upon his unyielding dedication to scholarly pursuits. "Master, I fear neglecting ambition may invite mediocrity, undermining the success I seek," Aniruddha confessed hesitantly. The Buddha smiled gently, his understanding illuminating Aniruddha's apprehension. "Success, Aniruddha, is but a fleeting shadow, impermanent as the moonlit clouds." He pointed toward the horizon, where mountains shimmered faintly. "True wisdom transcends ambition, for success enslaves while wisdom liberates." The disciples whispered among themselves, their conversations bubbling with curiosity and newfound insights. The disciples nodded, their faces reflecting an understanding that was slowly dawning. For the farmer, his children's laughter became the rays of light breaking through the storms of hardship. The Buddha concluded. The Buddha turned to the congregation, his teachings unfolding as petals of enlightenment. His words bridged the gap between worldly pursuit and spiritual harmony. "Academia demands diligence and exploration," the Buddha acknowledged, folding his hands together. "Yet, it also requires humility, for pride blinds, obscuring genuine understanding." Disciples nodded solemnly, their collective focus sharpened, yearning for deeper comprehension. The grove filled with the faint rustle of leaves, nature serenading the Buddha's wisdom. "The scholar who acts not for recognition but for inquiry walks the true path toward awakening," the Buddha proclaimed. Aniruddha whispered to himself, his heart transforming steadily. He would strive not for fame but for genuine inquiry, illuminating minds with compassion. He envisioned his research guided by curiosity and integrity, unfettered by applause or reward. "Master, I recall the kindness of a stranger who shared food with me during a journey when I was hungry." His voice trembled, laden with the weight of memory. The middle path teaches generosity alongside restraint, fostering balance within academic pursuits. The disciples murmured affirmations, their voices blending like a harmonious choir. The Buddha continued his teachings, weaving serenity through the assembly. "Balance is harmony," the Buddha emphasized. "Harmony nurtures creativity, and creativity births progress." Paving the path toward enlightenment, Anuruddha bowed deeply once more. Expressing gratitude silently, he turned his gaze to the horizon, where the sun now shone brightly, casting shadows that danced through the trees. "It is within you to choose which seeds to nurture," he said, his voice clear and unwavering. "Let us spend this day in mindful reflection, cultivating gratitude for the gifts often unseen," the Buddha instructed. The disciples murmured their agreement, their hearts and minds opening to the teaching. "Begin with the earth beneath your feet and the sky above," he guided them, his tone infused with tenderness. "Express gratitude for the food you eat, the people who labor for your well-being," he added. "As you express gratitude, feel it deeply within, not as a fleeting thought, but as enduring awareness," he taught. In time, gratitude becomes a natural state of the heart, leading to inner tranquility, he emphasized. Anuruddha's footsteps led him toward his journey's next chapters, his soul lighter than ever before, under the grove's protective canopy. The Buddha returned to silent meditation, content with planting seeds of enlightenment in Anuruddha's soul. Another day, the disciples gathered at the bustling streets of Rajagaya, their robes swaying with the morning breeze. The Buddha walked among them, his presence radiating calm amidst the cacophony of daily life. Sarika, a professor of ethics, approached the Buddha with reverence, her expression shadowed by inner conflict. "Master," she began, her voice tinged with worry, "I struggle with judgment and criticism within the academic halls. Please guide me." The Buddha nodded, his gaze soft, yet his words carried the weight of profound understanding. "Sarika, criticism, like fire, can destroy or illuminate depending on its use." He gestured toward a group of children playing in the street, laughing amidst broken toys. Mindful gratitude transforms fleeting moments into enduring blessings, weaving threads of abundance into the fabric of daily life. He reached down and picked up a single leaf from the earth, its veins delicate yet strong. "When you encounter harsh words, look for the suffering they hide, and practice compassion instead of resentment." Sarika lowered her head, her mind wrestling with the simplicity and complexity of the Buddha's insight. The Buddha paused, his eyes scanning the crowd with infinite patience. "Compassion transforms critique into growth, turning misunderstanding into understanding," he said. "Academic authority strengthened by compassion aligns knowledge with wisdom, free from the chains of arrogance." Sarika inhaled deeply, a faint light of understanding dawning within her. "But Master," Sarika asked, her voice hesitant, "will compassion make me appear weak, diminishing my authority in the eyes of others?" The Buddha turned toward her, his expression unwavering, his tone imbued with confidence. "Compassion, Sarika, is not a weakness but a fortitude that reflects inner strength and clarity." He gestured toward a flowing river nearby, sparkling under the morning sun. "Consider the river, soft and yielding, yet it carves mountains and nourishes life," the Buddha said. "Compassion, like water, possesses the power to cleanse and create." Unbound by fear of judgment, Sarika absorbed his words, her heart fluttering between doubt and enlightenment. The Buddha continued, "Offer loving kindness to those who challenge you, for their criticism mirrors your own growth areas. Reject resentment." Disciples murmured their agreement, their robes rustling as they shifted, their minds absorbing the teachings. The Buddha turned his attention to the crowd gathered around him, his voice steady and rhythmic. "Compassion toward others liberates us from the prison of the self," he said. "A compassionate scholar uplifts others, fostering collaboration instead of competition." Sarika nodded slightly, her inner conflict softening like clay under gentle hands. A merchant passing by stopped, intrigued by the gathering, her curious gaze meeting the Buddha's serene eyes. The Buddha addressed her, extending his teachings beyond the confines of academia. In every vocation, Compassion anchors the heart amidst storms of judgment, he said, his voice reaching all. Sarika stepped forward, her gaze now reflecting quiet determination. Master, she said, bowing, I will embrace compassion in my scholarly pursuits, turning judgment into understanding and growth. The Buddha smiled, his expression radiating quiet approval. Compassion, Sarika, transforms not just others, but your own path toward awakening. This is the first step in mindful gratitude, the Buddha continued. To slow down and truly observe what sustains us. He gestured toward a lotus blooming in a nearby pond, its petals glistening with morning dew. Rajagaya thrives on the interconnection of lives, each nourished by compassion and cooperation, he said, his words wove through the crowd, leaving echoes of wisdom that resonated beyond the academic realm. Let compassion guide your critique, for harshness destroys, while understanding builds bridges of enlightenment, the Buddha concluded. Sarika bowed deeply, the fire of transformation kindled within her, illuminating her path ahead. Let us not merely contemplate gratitude but embody it through deliberate action, he said. Today, each of you will dedicate a moment to express thanks, either through words or deeds, he instructed. The Buddha remained still, his serene gaze fixed on the horizon. Satisfied with planting seeds of wisdom, the city continued its rhythms, the streets bustling with life. Yet the echoes of the Buddha's teachings lingered in its air. Gratitude grows through expression, for in giving thanks, you nurture both the receiver and your own heart, he added. The sun climbed higher as the disciples dispersed to carry out their assignments, each guided by the Buddha's teachings. As the sun ascended the sky, casting its golden rays upon Rajagaya, the Buddha's disciples reflected on his timeless wisdom. Each carried fragments of his teachings, illuminating their paths with compassion and understanding. The day unfolded with new purpose, harmonizing academia, life, and wisdom into a unified whole. Another day, under the shade of the Bodhi tree, the Buddha gathered his disciples for the evening's teachings. The twilight bathed the grove in hues of gold and purple, casting long shadows over the seated assembly. A foreign monk named Tenzin approached the Buddha with a question heavy in his heart. Instead, help them see their transient nature and discover their inner light. The disciples nodded, understanding the importance of extending guidance and support in a world filled with uncertainty. He gestured towards the horizon, where the setting sun illuminated distant mountains. Achievements are like the river's currents, impermanent yet purposeful, creating life and harmony without attachment. Tenzin furrowed his brow, contemplating the metaphor while the disciples observed silently, waiting for more wisdom. The Buddha continued, his tone calm and measured. Do not cling to titles or recognition, for they are but illusions of permanence. Like clouds drifting in the sky, a soft breeze rustled the leaves above, echoing the Buddha's words and adding depth to the evening's stillness. Master, Tenzin interjected, his voice earnest. What purpose remains when achievements fade, when legacies dissolve into the sands of time? The Buddha smiled, his gaze steady as he addressed the assembly. True purpose lies not in permanence but in fulfilling the moment, in contributing to the whole. He pointed to a nearby tree, its roots firmly grasping the earth as its branches reached toward the heavens. This tree does not lament its fallen leaves, for each season fulfills its role, nourishing life. Tenzin nodded slightly, his inner conflict easing like ripples subsiding in still waters. The Buddha's voice grew softer, yet his words carried profound weight. Achievements are offerings, not possessions. They belong to the collective, not the individual. The Buddha appeared, his footsteps soft yet purposeful, his countenance serene as the still waters of a lotus pond. The journey of gratitude remains incomplete without compassion, the Buddha began. his voice imbued with profound calm and conviction. Master, is it wrong to pursue ambition? To strive for greatness in one's craft? The Buddha looked at her kindly, his words thoughtful. Ambition, when freed from greed, becomes aspiration, a noble act of aligning effort with purpose. Do not shun ambition, he elaborated, but temper it with humility, recognizing its role as a tool, not a destination. The merchant bowed her head, her heart lighter as she grasped the essence of the Buddha's teaching. Tenzin, too, found clarity in the unfolding dialogue. The Buddha gazed at the distant sky, where stars began to emerge from the twilight veil. Impermanence is not loss but liberation, for it frees us from fear and attachment. His voice resonated like a temple bell, its echoes sinking deep into the disciples' hearts. Tenzin lowered his gaze, his voice soft. Master, how can one contribute meaningfully when the ego seeks validation through accomplishments? The Buddha smiled gently, acknowledging Tenzin's vulnerability. Meaningful contributions arise not from ego, but from selflessness, from the recognition of interconnectedness. He gestured toward the gathering, the collective breaths and hearts creating an invisible harmony. Each being, like a note in a melody, contributes uniquely, forming an orchestra of existence, he explained. The disciples sat in reverent silence, their inner worlds illuminated by the Buddha's wisdom. The grove felt quieter as night descended, the stars gleaming brighter against the darkening sky. The Buddha addressed Tenzin directly. Do not fear the impermanence of achievement, for it mirrors the impermanence of all things. A natural truth. Tenzin bowed deeply, gratitude emanating from his posture. The Buddha concluded his teachings, his words wrapping the assembly like a comforting blanket. Balance effort with surrender, action with acceptance, and you shall find peace amid impermanence. The disciples dispersed slowly, each carrying the Buddha's words etched into their hearts, under the watchful stars. Tenzin stood still, his soul lighter, his doubts receding like waves from a calm shore. The Buddha returned to silent meditation beneath the Bodhi tree, content with guiding his disciples toward wisdom. The night enveloped the grove, cradling its echoes of eternal truth. She embodied her vision through action, inspiring others through her example. A leader's actions speak louder than their words, resonating long after their voice falls silent. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.